Hi everyone, I am Tara, aka Spirit Mother, and I would like to welcome you all back to my channel on YouTube. I am Spirit to Spirit, teaching going within self. On my TikTok, I am 1974 Enlightened Soul, and I'm also live on my Facebook. I'd like to wish all my Canadian family and what have you a happy Canada Day. It's not for the reasons that we think or what have you. So I'm going to get started with today. I'm talking about accepting compliments, and as I've stated before, a lot of the time when I pick my topics to talk about, it's from life experiences, and a lot of people can relate to the accepting compliments, whether it be for like your physical self or something you do or what have you. I've gone through it a lot in my life, and I've struggled a lot in my life with accepting compliments. If you're new to my channel, I do usually advise people to go and read my description on my YouTube channel, Spirit to Spirit, Teachings of Going Within Self, and then you can understand a lot more of what my lives are actually about, because I put different things in just quick videos. But in my lives, I get deeper, get very deep. Um, I chose about compliments today because my whole life growing up, had, I always struggled with accepting compliments, because either it was like I was looking for a compliment and I got insulted, or whether there was a compliment and right after the compliment, it was pulled back by an insult, which is like, that's a mind fuck. Somebody's playing with your head. And like, I had someone today tell me, like, well, I don't compliment you because every time I compliment you, you get pissed off at me. And this person said, you must be doing a podcast today or going live today. It's like, well, it doesn't matter. I don't pick fights. It's like, when you're being a real fucking asshole to me, do you think I ain't gonna be a bitch? Seriously? The people that tell you they love you and they care about you, okay, stood at a fucking grocery store and was like, Tara, I really do love you. I do. I really do love you. Do you really? Because I'm telling you right now, anybody that says that they love someone, that puts a compliment out there and then pulls it back with an insult or what have you, or says to the person, oh, well, when I do compliment you, you don't appreciate it. It's like, because you don't compliment to compliment. You compliment to be manipulative and then pull it back. You put somebody up high and then you pull them right out from under them. You're abusive. And anyone that does that to somebody is abusive. And if you want to say you're not, men wonder why women go to other women. That's exactly why. And then you throw shade and say about, well, all the women are there, are this and that. I had the same man tell people, like, talk about, like, right out because things were happening, calling them a whore and everything like that. So it's like, you're not complimenting anybody. You're just trying to boost your ego, or you're abusive. That's why people don't accept compliments well, because they've been abused. They've been given a compliment, and in the same sentence, when they've been given a compliment, well, the compliment has been pulled back with an insult. But I'll tell you right now, the person that does it to me, I know exactly what their upbringing was like. When I encourage people I encourage people to be the best version of themselves. I tell people when they look good, I don't put a compliment out there and then pull it back. And to you people that do, you really got some self-esteem issues. And I know it stems, I'm not insulting you. People shouldn't be putting a compliment out there and pulling it back because all you're doing is you're being abusive. And that just tells me that that's what was going on with you. You were being abused in that sense. And that's one of the worst kinds of it. That's actually one of the worst abuse that you can do to anyone. I know the same person, like they tell me they love me, and every so often they'll say, "Oh, you're beautiful." So I do struggle with accepting compliments. I know that I deserve a lot better. I'm not in a relationship, but like sometimes I feel like I am, whether I'm experiencing somebody else that have self-esteem issues, because I don't have a self-esteem issue. I know my worth. I know that I look good, and I know that people like we'll look in the mirror sometimes, and some people can't even. Sometimes we can't even look in the mirror because we don't know who we see anymore. Sometimes we feel like we're looking at a stranger. I know because I've been there. And then we know that we look good, but then there's a part of us that feel like we don't because we're so used to somebody giving us a compliment and then pulling it back with an insult. This person that I'm speaking of, and I don't care because they've really got some inner work to do, big time. I'm tired of the fucking lip service. I'm tired of the bullshit. I'm tired of the fucking lies. And if I call you out on it, you fucking deserve it. Anybody that calls somebody out, I'm not lecturing people. This person, this spirit knows who I'm directing it towards because I know that there's many versions of this person, and they're the person that's going around and pulling it back. They're the ones that are the abusive ones. They experienced it. And they can lie to me till they're blue in the face and say that they didn't, or tell me that they didn't say this and didn't say that. It's like, fuck you, didn't. What are you like? Maybe are you like, okay, didn't say it to you. Are you a fucking intruder? Like, seriously, are you a jumper? Because I know when shit's going on. This person told me that when they were little, and this person I know is very intelligent. They like two things that were not able to be fused together. They fucking fused them together. But people threw insults on them. According to them, people stole their ideas, took credit for things they did, and now they hate everybody. When they were little, they told me that their father used to, if they weren't doing something quick enough or if they weren't doing it to what the expectations of the father, it would get grabbed from them and the father would do it. That's like a parent doing a kid's project. I'm so fed up with people. I'm so fed up with people who abuse people and then expect for it not to happen to them. I'm crying not so much for me, but for other people that are experiencing it because it hurts. And then these same people will say, you really need to get over it. And I'll tell you right now, those same people that tell people they need to get over it, they ain't got over fuck all. They look for compliments. It's the same person will look for compliments when they do something You'll bitch and complain because they do something good for somebody, and the thing is, I'll tell you right now, if you're not getting anything back good for yourself, it's because you're expecting something when you figure that you're doing something good for somebody, and then you say, "Well, they didn't give me anything," or "I didn't get this back." Well, that's why, because you're fucking expecting something for something that you say you're doing out of kindness. You're not doing it out of kindness. You're doing it because you wanna be recognized. That's your ego. My birthday. Every year when I go out anywhere with this person, and I keep giving them the benefit of the doubt because that's what you do for people that you love, and some people say you step away. Yep, I have stepped away because I don't wanna be in a relationship with them, but it doesn't mean that I don't wanna see the best for them. This person wants compliments for what they do, and a lot of people are like that. So that's why a lot of people, especially women, struggle with receiving compliments. If you're in a relationship and your girlfriend or wife or something struggles with accepting compliments, why don't you ask them why? Why don't you figure out why? It's because of this. I went out for my birthday the day I turned 50. 50 years, and my whole every relationship I've been in, they've been real fucking dickhead assholes. Sometimes I've thought about going gay. It's like, no, because I know not all men are like that. The same as not all women are the way that men say. Bisikutotayı soruyorum. Emekututubiyetanayı sigriyan. It's like, I have to ask, how did it feel when it was happening to you? Seriously. This is a spirit to spirit. And we wonder why our world is so fucked. This person growing up, they wanted to be a vet, but they ended up going and working for the military. It's like, you're supposed to be working for the people, but you were working to hide corruption. You're supposed to be working for peace, but you're abusing people. People that go in the military, most of them, when they come out, they're so fucking cold. They don't know how to live in society because they're so abused in the military. It's like, instead of creating peacekeepers, they create killers, abusers. They tear families apart. Any military person that I've known of, most of them come out being alcoholics, some drug addicts, some very physically and mentally abusive, and we still want our families to go. We still want your kids to go. Dikkat tutuyor, sıra. My birthday. All this person did was sit and really fucking complain about the food. It was my 50th birthday, and I was really happy to be turning 50. But every celebration, they fucking wreck it. And then they had the audacity to say about what their son said about their ex-wife, that they don't celebrate nothing. I have to say to that person, like, are you your fucking ex-wife? I am a very emotional, in touch, sensitive person, and if you don't like my channel, I did not invite you in. If you want to come in to insult me, well, you know, go look in the mirror and try giving yourself a compliment. And you can try to rip my heart out, but I have a good heart. Everybody has a good heart. It's just they gotta find it because everything has made everyone so fucking cold, unfeeling, and I just heard soulless. Well, they have a soul unless you're a fucking robot, and then they go into the consciousness in there. It happens a lot of time from childhood, growing up in families where there's no love in the home, there's no compliments, there's no encouragement. It's just a lot of, like, you know, you say criticism, constructive criticism. I've yet to see any criticism being constructive. Why don't you encourage people? Compliment people on the good things that they do instead of focusing on the fucking things that just don't work out. Maybe because it's not what they want to. It's not what they want to do. It's not how they want to dress or look or something like that. But I will say to the men, for masculine energies, with regards to a woman or a feminine energy, you wonder why you're being fucking left. You wonder why you're alone. You know, maybe like two wrongs don't make it right, but maybe that person needs to start abusing you a little bit. Or wait, no, that would be wrong because you're abusing the person because you were abused in younger years. So if people compliment me and they wonder why I, like, you know, don't like really have any emotion or excitement behind it, that's why. Because every compliment I ever had was usually followed by an insult. Like, here, we'll pump you up, but we're gonna pull you right back down because you can't get above us. You can't feel good because we don't feel good about ourselves. I told this person, like, I know they're like they could be a really attractive person, but my gosh, their fucking personality is so fucking ugly. It's like you could take the most beautiful, handsomest person in the world, and then they open their mouth and they are so fucking ugly inside. Or you could take a beautiful person and they could have really low self-esteem. Because, you know, some people they think because you're attractive and everything like that, that oh, everybody treats you well. No, they actually treat you like you're a fucking ditzy person. You could be really fucking intelligent. But it all comes back to themselves. It comes back to their own self-esteem, their own self-worth. I know my self-worth. and I know that I'm gonna have great things, and I see the person. I see people in here. I go past the exterior, I go past all the facades, and I look at the trueness of their heart, and the trueness of their heart, it leads to the seed that made them so cold, and it was their original innocence. Oh, oh, I feel that. Quiero subir toya, anybody else wanna make it to the I was at a restaurant the day for my birthday, and I went up to pay. Well, like, I mean, I wasn't so worried about the chow mein, but the owner was gonna try to charge me for another chow mein when they didn't get my order right. So I wasn't worried about that, but I gave her the money for to pay for the food, and then for the wait, like, I had the money there for the waitress to tip, and she took all the owner took all the money and she put it in till, she was only gonna give me, like, a few cents back. My order was $50.94, and I gave her $59.20. So basically, I was giving her, I was had $8 there for the waitress for a tip, and the owner was putting in the till, and I told her, like, "Whoa, whoa, like, I gave you a 5 and 2, like, a 50, 5 and 2 toonies and $2." "No, you didn't. You didn't give me a 5 and a toonie." "Yeah, I did, and I had somebody else do it, and it fucking pissed me off because a waitress or waiter, they put up with a lot of shit and abuse, not only by, it's like, sometimes from the customers, but by their employees. And she took the owner took the money and I was telling her, like, "No, like, you took that's the waitress's tip." "No, you didn't give me that." "Yeah, I did." Then she said about her till, and I said, "Well, yeah, you're gonna be up 25 cents now." Because she took the other dime and she was keeping the nickel. I made her give back the a loonie and the toonie and the $5 bill. And then the owner tried telling me, "Oh, well, I'll give her the tip." It's like, "No, you won't. Like, you just tried to put it in your fucking till. So, no, you're not going to give her the tip." So I said, "No, like, give me the money and I'll give her the tip." "Well, no, I'll give her the." "No, you won't." And I kept telling her that. And I told, because just before that happened, I said that I don't leave tips on the table. I give them directly to the waitress. That way I know that they got it and I can tell them about their service, the compliment. And the owner was standing right there when I said that I don't leave it on the table, I give it directly to. So it pissed me off, and she got the waitress for me, and I gave the money to the waitress, and I thanked her and told her she did a great job. And I know that that waitress, she could hear what I was doing. She knew that the owner was trying to steal money from her. So you know how many times did that owner steal money from her? Steal her tips. I don't put tips on, like, if I'm paying with debit, I don't freaking put the tip on the debit because I don't agree with them having to pay tips or pay taxes on their tips because that's not their wage. That's something that somebody gave them free money for because they liked their service. It wasn't their income, but it was like being able to give her the compliment. And like people are so focused on, let's give them some constructive criticism. Let's shoot them down instead of, let's build them up. Anyone that says the constructive criticism, they may say in some circumstances, no, it's like, compliment on what they had done right and then show them what they could have done better or show them what they done wrong, opposed to saying, oh, here, I'll give you some constructive criticism. because I just want to insult you and make you feel less than what you are. But in all actuality, you are not less. You are greater, and that's why they are treating you like you are less than what you are, because they know that you are greater. I had somebody ask me if I was a life coach. Maybe I should be a life coach. Maybe, it's not about like coddling someone. Sometimes we got to give that, that tough motivation, because I know, like, like constructive criticism. It don't do fucking shit for me. It just pisses me off because it's not constructive at all. It's not helpful. It takes away people's ability to be able to do things for themselves and things for themselves and be creative. Like, I like being creative. Not a great drawer. Don't draw that well. Not an artist. I appreciate the advice. I already know all this stuff. I'm just someone that experiences people on a very intense level. So I appreciate. I've a lot of. Sorry about that. Let's pause that for a second. I'm going to take you because I have a great niece, and God bless her little soul. She's very intense and what have you. She's very intelligent. And this here, okay, okay, put it over here. This here, the tree, okay, get that right, okay. She put the birds on there for me because she gave me birds for Christmas. A little, she was two, three, two. Well, she was three, and she gave me that for Christmas. So I waited until a couple of weeks ago for her to help to put it, put the birds up with me, and then I did the tree. Going out to the dollar store and bought the paint. And like I said, I used to draw when I was little, like when I was younger, and I used to write poems. And then, you get in abusive relationships or you get in situations where, you end up with real buttholes or something like that. And because they can't see their own potential or get out of their own freaking way, because they won't, like, as they tell other people, get over things. That same little girl that did the birds for me, this is what she gave me for Christmas. She picked this out herself. My niece told me that she picked it herself. Don't wait for opportunity, create it. And she's only three, okay? And that was, I'll be honest, that was the best Christmas present that I could have ever gotten. Because birds, you fly, they represent freedom, okay? Freedom to fly. And then opportunities, and I'm creating opportunities. And this person that I speak of, they're holding themselves back. They have 22 fucking trades, but they had 22 trades in the military. They did all the education and everything like that, put in all the hours and everything like that. But then when they got out of the military, they weren't allowed to use their credentials. It's like, what? So basically what that person did was they put in 20 years of time, education, and you know something? They'll even teach you to steal. Because they have to go, when they go to ports, They would have to go in other dumpsters from other ports to get stuff to fix the shit. I don't care. So they're taught. And this person, they're so like, I mean, they on certain things they're wrong about. But as far as being able to build something or create something, I know that they can do it because sorry. Okay. Here, maybe this is a better view. Okay. This here, this end table, they made it. They made a coffee table, but they didn't get it finished. Sorry, didn't get it finished. But they also, for their ex-wife, I mean, and their ex, on the most recent ex-wife, the first ex-wife, he made her a very beautiful family. He's very good at building things. He's very good at math and putting things together. So they piss me off. And that's why I get so aggravated. Like I give compliments to them. Do I insult them? Well, not by way of things that they do, but by the personality. It's not insulting them. It's pointing it out to them. And like they say, shame is the biggest like downer or what have you. But I'll tell you right now, maybe some people actually need to feel shame for themselves of the way that they talk and treat other people, especially if other people are treating them with respect and goodness of their heart. Those same people that disrespect other people expect respect. They want compliments, but they don't want to give them. They don't, and when they do give them, they just want to pull it back with an insult. So with certain things, yes, it's like the first step to moving forward, the first step to recovery, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, is being honest with yourself. I had to, and not today, I don't know if it'll be today, but I'm planning on coming on and doing a video with regards to apologies because knowing when people should be apologizing and when not. Like one of the biggest things that people do with regards to apologies is they walk in front of somebody in the store, they walk past somebody in the store, and they apologize for walking past. Say, "Oh, sorry." It's like, what? You'll say sorry for walking in front of somebody, but this person, they've never, no, once have they really apologized for anything that they've ever done to make a person feel like a piece of shit and that they were less than what they are. And it's like, what the fuck is your problem? What is your malfunction? Like they'll sit and they'll cry about somebody losing someone, and they say that they can't imagine how they feel. It's like I'll say to you, what fucking like seriously? Was it you? Like, was it a version of you? So you feel sorry for yourself I'm not being rude. I'm not being ignorant. I'm asking the question. But some will say, so some like to say, well, you're judging. No, I'm not judging. If I'm asking a question, I'm trying to come to a legitimate thing. I'm not judging you. I'm asking legitimate questions. But those same people that, you know, they look for compliments, but they don't like to give them. They want to receive compliments, but they don't want to give them. And when they do give them, they just want to pull them back because, they don't want you feeling higher than them. And the same person is the one that wants to press the button. It's not to throw shit at them. It's to say, what the fuck are you wasting your attention for? Why are you feeling like so blocked? You want things out of life. You want to say that you want this. You want this for yourself and that for yourself and everything like that. What is it? Just another form of lip service so others can feel sorry for you? I'm not being rude. Seriously. You want others to be nice to you, but you don't want to you don't want to put anything good out there to other people. Like, do unto others as you would want others to do unto you. So, if you treat people like shit and you put a compliment out there and then you insult them afterwards, I guess, that's what you want for yourself. Same person when nobody's around hardly has anything to do with me. But it's one of those ones where they want the attention. So when others are around, that's when they come around. And that's okay. It just goes to show that's a form of abuse you use when you do that. Because to this person, do you think I don't know that they're going behind my back and talking shit about me and saying that I'm the problem? It's like, I'll tell you right now, nobody knows what happens behind closed doors, do you? And this same person says, oh, like you go and you throw shit about me and stuff like that. No, I put compliments out there too because just yesterday I told somebody, yeah, this person can be an asshole. I know deep down they have a good heart, but they got to stop thinking and feeling like just because you do something good, that you got to get recognition for it all the time. Because if you're doing something good, you're doing it because you're doing something good. But if you're doing it because you want to get that recognition, then you're not doing it for something good. You're doing it for selfish reasons because you want to pump your own ego. This you can leave it for the ass and up. My channel's not for everybody. People say, well, love and light. Do you know what fucking love and light is? Do you know how you get to love and light? You start feeling your fucking heart. The channel's not for everybody. But you don't know what shit I put up with. You don't know what shit the person next to you that finally has an attitude. You don't know what they put up with. And just because, like, they got, like, just because they're finally standing up for themselves doesn't mean that they dislike the people. It's like, holy shit, I got so much inside me is I don't want to take it out on people. But holy shit, man, give me a fucking punching bag. Because I'm not violent. But there's a lot of rage in the collective. There's a lot of pain. It's like, if you're treating a person like a piece of shit, Like, I know, and I will get into it when I do my apology, when I do my video about apologies. Because I'll tell you right now, I know that like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I put a couple of people through fucking hell because I was going through my spiritual awakening, and it was just like a mind fuck. I'll get into that because like holy shit, man, it was fucking nut crazy. And at that time, going through that, fucking yeah, you could say yup at that time because I didn't know what the fuck I was experiencing. Yeah, I needed to be in the psychiatric unit to get my head shit together to realize and understand what I was experiencing. But I know what I was experiencing now, and I'll be doing it, like I said, thing about apologies, knowing when you should be apologizing, and I live with that every day, and I try to wrap my head around it, but I'm not going to feel guilty for it anymore because other things let up. Like if I received a love letter or something like that, fuck, like you know, I don't even know how to accept that shit. It's not shit to some, and it's not shit to me because when you have somebody that really means it, some of the letters are just fucking pour out for some fruit just flush down the toilet. Because I'm of the mindset and the feeling of the heart, what have you, that love is not a word; it's a word that's put out there very easily. But the action is not behind it. So it's like, we say, "Uy, es una minita, toy." Some people use the word love or I love you as a way of manipulating people because action, love is an action. Like there's more and more people coming together because they're actually starting to feel for each other. Es que te queremos. So like that day that I was at the restaurant, I told the owner I won't be back, and then I spoke in one of my languages, and in her language, she responded back. Do I know what was said? Not in that sense, but I know that the two spirits knew exactly what was going on. Because spirit was fucking angry with this the owner of the restaurant because I could feel it. Like the same person want to give them their retirement, but they keep getting in their own fucking way. They keep saying, I got too much to do, I got too much to do, but they keep piling more fucking shit on their plate. Like seriously, and you wonder why you can't get ahead. You're doing it to yourself, but you're blaming everybody else for it. You know, today is a at my birthday party the other day. It was on New Grade. I rolled down the back of the kids half the time I'd rather be around kids because kids are so critical. Like, I'll be honest, if you're not an asshole, don't act like one. Because if I call you an asshole, it's because you're acting like one. I'll say Uranus. Dice ko na yata na nagkakatuloy-serbiata. Siguro siya nakisika. Sulututuloy-kaya. I didn't learn this language anywhere. I become awake. I started remembering spirit. Yatutuloy. I was talking to somebody today and talking about this person and like there's two spirit there's the spirit that these two spirits they fucking work. Like one can't stand the other. Like is it a daughter and a father? Or a sister and a brother? Or what the fuck is it? Or husband or wife? Like it's not easy, but I still do it. And if I cry and you want to call me a baby or you want to call me this, well, you know, basically because you don't understand. You're not where I am. This person the other day told me that I needed help. Why? Because I stand up for myself. Because I'm not taking this shit no more. Like right now, my tears, it's like they're stinging my face, and I've got nothing on my face. I talk to my mom on this spirit all the time. But it's not like having her in the physical world. Spirit is what's getting me through this, not people. Do I believe in God, source, creator? You're fucking right, I do. So don't come in and ask me if I want to find Jesus, because you ain't got a fucking clue of what finding Jesus is. It's going deep in yourself. It's finding it's so hard to know how to treat people. You want respect. You want things for good things for you to like. You do good things. It's not about expecting it back. Like it's not about like going and doing like small things can help. Yes, I never want to do something small. I'm doing working on something that's big. That's something benefits humanity. That benefits the people. That everybody gets benefits out of it, whether I do or not. And that's the difference. It's okay to have things. It's okay to have money. It's a system that tells you that, you know, because all the corruption, You start having things in life, you start looking within yourself and seeing how you're treating others. Like they say, karma, but it's like not giving karma to anybody. The karma I want from people are good things. As much as sometimes, oh well, I just feel like some people they don't deserve good things because they treat so many people like shit. Secondo te, sono persone and I know a lot of people can relate and have experienced this. And that's why I'm here. That's why you're here. Put your story out there. Not about hating the people that hurt you, but putting your story out there so others are able to hear your story and then they're able to release their story to get out the voice. But it's like compliments can help a person's self-esteem in many ways. And if you're around somebody that gives compliments and then throws an insult right afterwards, and the same person is I get uppity, use a racial remark. And I told them today, I wish one of those people would actually punch you in your face because you would deserve it. If they'll say, oh, yeah, you went on and did a podcast about it. So, yeah, you were looking for something for your podcast. Nope, because originally when I did my next podcast, I was going to do it about apologies. Okay. If you think that I can't feel you, and I can't feel when you're lying, that I can't feel your intentions, that I can't feel when you switch or anything like that, holy fuck, man. You're more naive than what you like. Like those people that they just want to hold the string. This is my, this is the last karma that I'm going through. What it is that part of ask, like I keep asking myself, is this my karma or am I experiencing someone else? Because, but I know that these two spirits, there's a hardness there. There's a lot of pain, and it comes out of my mouth sometimes, saying to this person, no wonder you got fucking thrown off the ship. It's one of those egos that, you know, think for the best. Really? It's like, I don't think so. It's like, I think that you're the only one with any ideas. The thing I'm working on making me shade on me for it, but it's only because they had inventions and they had something themselves, a creative notion for themselves, and they didn't follow it through. They were trying really hard to discourage, to say, oh, well, this is what happens, and that's what happens, everything like that. It's like, do you think I don't know that people steal other people's fucking ideas all the time or creative things? Do you think that I don't know that others will create something and they'll sit in the back room, but it's only if it doesn't, like if they don't put it out there, it's only because they don't feel like it's good enough. But the next person might think it's a brilliant fucking sculpture or a brilliant painting or picture or something like that. Or maybe they put it in the back because somebody else said that it wasn't good enough. But that usually comes from jealousy or fear because they couldn't take a leap of faith themselves. They couldn't take that leap of faith. So because they can't take the leap of faith, instead of complimenting someone who does take it, try to discourage them and tell them that their stuff is nothing. Yeah. Like, yeah, sometimes you're gonna feel shame and you're gonna see your own wrong. You wanna switch your reality. Just have a fucking look at yourself. And this is a spirit to spirit. You guys are just you're experiencing it. If you're experiencing any kind of feeling towards me right now with regards to it, it's because the spirit that is within you, that is connected to the spirit, that is a part of that spirit, you're experiencing it. That's why my channel is spirit to spirit, teaching the going within self. Because spirit is teaching me to, and it gets fucking painful. I'm not your average podcast or YouTuber or they don't come on here for followers. They come on here to enlighten. And if you take it as insult, well, that's on you. It's not on you. Seriously, seriously, let's go, people. Come on, why the fuck are we holding ourselves back? And that shaking actually feels good because it's movement. Half the time I just feel like, just letting go and say, see y'all. Not killing myself, but just flying away. Because we all can levitate and, lift up and go bye bye. Our spirit does that. That's what we say about being grounded. Spiritual awakening is not easy. It's painful. And some people, when they go through it, they can't handle it because they don't understand. they're experiencing. It's just shit. I tried taking my life because I didn't know what the fuck was going on. And I thought, well, man, the only way I can get rid of this is if I take my life. But it's like, nope. Spirit helped me realize, no, no, no. Keep going, keep going. We're going to help you. Guide the collective. You have the, you know, you have the positive side to it, and you have the negative side to it, and it's the shadows. You're going to be, it's dealing with the shadows, and that's why I like giving compliments to people. Actually, help them to grow. Criticism, whether you say it's constructive or not, it can actually hinder people. You want to push them, like, put them into their true potential, then encourage them. Say what they did right and teach them, or maybe they didn't get right. But, the ones that like to take the long way around. That's just because you want to overthink everything and overanalyze it because you think it makes you intelligent and intellectual. But, I'd rather have life skills and good wisdom. So many people, especially like so many people think, oh, well, you're nothing if you don't have a university degree or college or this or that. Like, seriously? Like, do you ever notice that some of the students that are going to university, they're paying $40,000, $50,000 for their education and they're fucking working at McDonald's because they can't find shit? Even then to work at McDonald's or anything like that, sometimes you got to know people, or you got to be one of these people that are willing to drop on their knees and fucking kiss somebody else's boot. It's not throwing shade on you. It's saying, seriously, get up off your knees and fucking stand up. You're nobody's dog. Even dogs shouldn't be treated like that because they're life too. Seguimos queridos type. There's a spirit in here right now. Basically, I thought that you should say it like I always do. For me, you're only hurting yourself because we are all one. We're all connected. This person went around anybody and I start talking to people, they start opening up. They get fucking really irritated and agitated. Seriously. How about complimenting me for the fact that I'm able to help someone, whether you think I come off as a bitch or not, or whether you don't like believe in the stuff that I believe in, or you want to poo-poo me because you know it's fucking true, and because you're not capable of doing it right now because you won't get your head out of your fucking ass and get out of your damn way. I don't go people to people, I go spirit to spirit because we got some really hard ones, and some call them lost souls. Some of us, we come in here with past karma, past life experiences, whether it's ours or our ancestors. We always come back with what we come back with what we're here to help you, okay? We're here to we're here to correct, fix, and yes, the song. Everybody hurts sometimes, but I'm here to help lift you up. And I'm not the only one here to help lift you up. There are many. And if we see that you're trying to come up, we will keep bringing you up, but we will not burn ourselves to it. People don't like me saying God helps those who help themselves, but that's only because they don't really understand the concept of it. When I say God helps those who help themselves, when you take the help that is offered to you, when you accept that help that is offered to you, when you do the work to continue, when you know that God is helping you, because you are helping yourself, because God is with you. You are a part of God, Spirit, Source, Creator, Mother, Father, however you refer the universe. So it's like, today I had someone that fucking irritates me. They say, well, I don't want to be alone. You don't want to be alone. So you'll go be in an abusive relationship, someone that treats you like a piece of shit and then throws you away. And then when you're inconvenienced, they come back to you. And did they really think that I didn't fucking know where they were going at and who they were meeting the other night? Seriously, you can fucking try lying to me. It's like, when are you going to see your own self worth? When are you going to realize that the reason why you don't got a good person with you is because you don't feel like you like it's like you say you deserve a good person, but yet you'll take like you know you keep going to someone that treats you like a piece of shit. I have to ask, do you like being treated like a piece of shit? Seriously, do you like being treated like a piece of shit? Because I know I didn't. Because nobody deserves to be treated like a piece of shit, and I don't care what they did. They were only doing what they were taught, what they learned. It's like the part of unlearning bad behavior. Some people like being abused. Yeah, there was a song about that, an older song. It's like, yeah, well, and if those people like being abused, then maybe all those people need to stick together instead of going after the ones that don't like to be abused. Everybody, whether people want to admit to or not, everyone likes compliments because compliments help with self-esteem. It's one of the biggest things that helps with self-esteem. Parents should always be helping them to see their potential within themselves. It's like because you couldn't do something for yourself, always want something better for you. Don't blame your children for your childhood. Don't blame your children for anything from your past. You're the fucking, you're the parent. You're supposed to be teaching them. There's some things where I failed, but I do know that my youngest is getting more and more into my spirituality. For my birthday, he gave me a candle set for the seven chakras. Another year, he gave me a lamp made of feathers because I collect angels, angel wings. Christmas time, he gave me a tree of life. Some crystals, angel crystals. The tree of life tapestry that I use. He gave me that. And him and I, we had our relationship some because we've been through a lot together. My blessings and my family. And to me, family is very important. Even the ones that, you know, are the harder souls. Not religious soul, very connected. The other day, damn river, I freaking bawled because I had so many freaking flies in my house and I sprayed them with rain. You know, and I cried the whole time I was doing it. They were flies. So it's like, you know, you're connected, you're crying because you're hitting flies with rain. And I don't agree with rain. So I put some kind of thing home. What if I gotta get a new one because I don't know, I dented or broken or something. So I gotta get a new one. Big thing for a garden. I have a very sensitive heart, a very sensitive person. Because I always like this. And not so intensely. It's just been the past 3.5, 4 years since COVID with isolation. I started going through my inlet. See, find your self worth and know that you are worth so much more than what people do to you. The only reason why they're doing it to you is because they don't see the room. reached her own. De segurança, really segurança da questão da segurança que aí yeah, because she knew it was the same as when I went similar with my dad. This elderly Ukrainian woman come up and had the little cloak thing on. She started tugging on it. And I thought she was talking about my sweater, but she was trying to get me to speak. So I was talking in English, and then all of a sudden, I started speaking to her in Ukraine, and her and I had a quick conversation in Ukrainian, and then she kind of walked away. I never know what's going to come out of my mouth because it's spirit. It's from one spirit to another. So when people say, "Do you know what you're saying?" Yes, sometimes I do, and sometimes I put it in English form, and sometimes I don't know because it's a spirit to spirit. It's ancient spirits. It's like just people say, like, what do you think? Like, I don't understand. Well, that's your opinion, but I'm not going to stop talking like this. Don't like to hear me. Well, it's actually your shadows. It's actually those parts of you that know exactly what I'm saying, so it doesn't like it because those two spirits have history together. This like these past couple weeks, like my voice has been really hoarse and because the throat chakra, my chakras are like this, like I've been feeling like wow, but it's not because I have a flu. And did anybody ever notice that the flu and the cold and all that went by the wayside? Now everything's COVID, COVID, COVID. Seriously, not throwing shade on people, but I'll tell you again, COVID actually meant corona. The coronavirus, the corona is the outer layer of the sun, the solar flares. Basically, actually is through it. And all those ones that say, oh, well, that doesn't affect people. Fuck it, don't. Seriously. Stop listening to your mainstream scientists and actually start listening to the true scientists that knows and wants what's best for the people, not for the fucking pocketbook. Because the ones that want what's best for the people, oh, they're just bad scientists. And I am sick. Because this is what say. And I say, compliments those ones, Tesla, Nikola Tesla. He didn't finish university. One of the greatest scientists ever known. If you read it, you find out like the thing that he did, he actually, when they asked about like the form of who he could relate with or who he would relate himself with, he said it's a taboo name, you know. He referred himself to Lucifer. Was Lucifer actually trying to help people? What was the true story? And I don't care about what, like, I have my opinion. I'm allowed to ask my questions. Was it actually female? Because I actually was reading on some other stuff too. Who did they say was like supposed to be possessed, but actually was connected with spirit? Who just had to, fight through the darkness to get to the light. You can't continue to just suppress yourself and walk around. Oh, everything's all glorious and light. everything like that. I'm not mocking you. Some people hardly had anything to go through in life, so they say, "Oh, it's all love and light." But you know those like other people that went through a lot of shit in different lifetimes. Those people, they need to go into the darkness to find their own light, to find that light, the peace within you. Tú dices, ay, somebody didn't like that. Spirit didn't like that. Too fucking bad. Dice que le are you one that likes to pretend that you're father? Because you know the one that likes to pretend is father ain't my father. I'm not talking about my human either. I just got the drop. Like, well, you know, is it the brother going around or something like that saying it's father posing as somebody else that it's not? If you go in the beginning, like they have all different sorts of names. They're actually, it's different kinds of names, but you're going on parallel worlds. You're experiencing parallel worlds, and it's all coming together. Whether people want to believe that or not, it's well, parallel worlds, like different lifetimes. I'm walking into your world, and you're walking into mine, and that's why maybe sometimes things don't make sense. That's why sometimes someone will give a good compliment and will say to you, they love you above what world are you in? What world am I in? Well, from what I've been experiencing, we're all going back and forth. Like some of us are able to travel the multiverse, and we're going parallel worlds, and we're walking in, and that's why things don't make sense. That's why one minute someone's giving you a compliment, maybe that's why they're giving you a compliment one minute, and the shift happens, and then they're giving you an insult because maybe it's not the same spirit, not the same version of that person. That's why you go into the store, and sometimes you look familiar, somebody will say it, or ask if you're this person or that person. You know, maybe they know you from parallel world. That's why people look familiar. So it looks maybe slightly different. Well, that's your thoughts. If you want to say I go off on tangents. Maybe you just want to come in and troll my channel. Secretly, you know, people don't like me. It's only because I'm empowered and I see my self worth and I'm working to help others to see theirs too. And if I come off hard or tough or what have you, well, you know, I guess that's what spirit's having me do because I don't work for people. I work for spirit and with spirit to help people, to help it as a whole, not just people in that, but like to help people see their own potential, their own self worth, and to say, the only reason why these people are doing this is if they have no self worth themselves, or they think their shit don't stink, but actually their shit stinks as bad as everybody else's. Yeah, I have some pretty nasty smelling shit. So I sent a message to the radio station. I like to say that they're very oriented. family-oriented radio station, but yet they're playing music on there that talks about people being raped and about drugs, or somebody killing someone or somebody killing someone and stuff like that. I guess they seriously are not very fair on my own. I switch stations. He messaged me back and asked me which song I was referring to. I gave him the name of the song and then I told him other things of what they've been putting on the radio. But you know, they'll censor the F word. It's like, seriously? Wow. It's like, if your kids don't hear the F word, they hear the F word everywhere you go. Yeah, and speaking of that, that's the song that's on right now. So, you know, and it's a different station. It's like, seriously, what the fuck are they putting that on there for? How long have I been speaking in spirit tongues? For about 3 years now, more full-fledged, full-blown. I started speaking it round about the beginning of 2020 when just certain words would come out. So I tell people, like, if you feel like you're gonna speak gibberish or you feel like you're speaking gibberish, allow it to come out because it's your throat chakra. It's parts of spirit that's actually trying to come out. I got mine at the dollar store. I like my dollar store and thrift store. You know, probably even if I had shit piles of money, I'd still go to the thrift store. One's man's junk, one person's junk is another man's treasure. A lot of my stuff here is secondhand. I think the only thing that wasn't secondhand was my couch, my table, and my bedroom set. And basically, well, I mean, except for some trinkets or something like that, but most of the rest of my stuff, secondhand. A lot of my clothes are thrift store. So, but yeah, if you feel like you're going to speak what people would say is gibberish or what have you, allow it to come out because it means that you are connecting with spirit. And it's like once you start, because if you suppress something, it's going to hurt your body because it's going to push through. I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. It was cloudy here this morning, but it's going to turn out to be a great Canada day because the sun is starting to come up. Yes, walking and speaking with God. That yes, it can be a really lonely journey because people don't understand it, and I spend a lot of time by myself. I spend a lot of time going within, but like as far as like the physical, I'm by myself, but I'm constantly working and speaking with spirit, my ancestors, my family that has passed and everything. Oh, I did. I did at the beginning of this, I did try taking my own life. But then when I realized what was happening and I remembered back to what I experienced in 99, then I started realizing what I was experiencing. So it become easier and I was more able to open up to spirit so that my ancestors and my family and my angels and guides and the collective and what have you could come in. I was at the beginning of it, I was hearing a lot of different names and they would give me the places they lived and what have you, and I would write them down and then I would go Google them and it would be real people. Dice creatures today to spirit form. Some of them were even deceased people. I actually connected with one back a few years ago, and they actually gave me a symbol, which was a military symbol, and they gave me a name. And I found that name, and the person they were born in a certain year, and they died in a certain year, and they had been part of the like they were down in deep in the dumps, so they ended up, as far as I know, they ended up taking their own life because they couldn't live with what they had done. And yes, my channel is all over the place because, like, I'm with spirits, so you never know what you're gonna get. It's live. It happens because I feel a lot of emotion within the collective, and a lot of spirits have something that they need to get out there on their that's on their chest, because that's why my channel on my YouTube is called Spirit to Spirit, Teachings of Going Within Self. And hi to all those that are saying hi. Yes, a lot of judgmental, and I've tried going to church a few times, but like I've had them throw shade on me. And it's like, you might want to go back and read your books that you like to preach about, because obviously you don't understand what you're preaching. And I'm not throwing shade. I just like, there's so much within, I call this the real sins. The true sins are the systems integrated into society. This channel, like I said, it's not for everyone. It's like, give it a chance and you might understand something. You might experience something and you might have a release within yourself. Well, nice for you if you farted under your blanket. I fart under my blanket all the time. And sometimes they don't smell like roses. Hello from Ontario. Hello. No, my mother passed away 10 years ago. Um, I didn't experience it then. Like I died in 2020. That's when I really started experiencing stuff. In 2017, um, was in my living room and I experienced something that felt like it came from like a side in my wall. It was an apartment. It felt like it came in my home and it felt like it went right through me. So I contacted one of those paranormal places to kind of have them come and sit with me and find out like what have you, because to find out, is it my house or is it me or what have you. And I was talking to a medium, and she asked me, well, she was telling me that at from the time that I was between the time that I was when I was first born and the age of 2, and a grumpy old man attached himself to me. and she's talking, and then she said, "I have some," and then she started telling me, "I have somebody coming in, and said they want to say something to you." She said, I'm getting an S," and it's like she kept saying this S, and she was saying Sandy, and saying S and Sandy and Sandra, and I'm getting a Sandra. I was like, "That's my mom." I just felt a release there, and it's like, "That's my mom," and she said she wants you to know not to worry because everything was going to be okay. She was explaining that this is what I was going to be going through and not to stress over it, that they knew and that they were here for me. And when I died in 2020, or sorry, in 2019, just before Christmas, because the doctors and they wouldn't listen to me. That's when I come back, and then I went somewhere, and I come back from the place that I went to, and I come back, and then that's when I started really going through it. I started experiencing things. I started decoding stuff, and it was a lot of stuff within the Bible, pointing out to a lot of the stuff in Deuteronomy. And I started allowing my, like, just kind of letting go. There was a lot of really freaky times, a lot of scary times, and then I actually started um, experiencing my mom and Archangel Michael and Raphael, Gabriel, um, and a lot of the collective, and kind of when I first started, I was feeling a lot of people come in, like it was like I was feeling people come on top of me. And there was parts where it was like I'd stop them, and then it was like I was reaching my hand inside of somebody, and I was feeling their illnesses, and I was kind of shifting it because I use my own body now. Um, I connect on a very physical level. I feel like I feel it. And if I'm talking to people and all of a sudden I start doing this and what have you, it's because I'm shifting energies. I'm actually working to heal energies. And I mean, it's up to the person whether they want to accept that healing. But I'm here to teach others how they're able to heal themselves, because this here is actually, it moves energy. It's the Korea. Yeah, it's like, everybody please get an interpreter. Que la moto criata de Syria, Sule shola criança alegre, muito cototoria toruisa. I explain a lot of what I'm experiencing within the body, within the collective. I say, like, it's a spirit to spirit. It's not directed towards one person per se. And if you think it's directed towards you, that's your ego. Okay. I'm not being rude, but if I'm saying that, I can feel psychic attacks on me, if you're feeling that I'm directing it towards you, well, maybe you are throwing psychic attacks on me, and that's why you're coming and you're saying to me, like, "Oh, well, it's not me if you think it's me." Well, you don't got to say it's not you. If it's not you, then you don't have to say it's not you, because I'm not directing it towards any specific person, because it's not the person per se, as it is a spirit. I know that I'm meant to be. Yesterday I took somebody somewhere, and we went into uh, a giant tiger, and I was standing there, and I started speaking to this woman in the language and what have you. And it was saying about a spirit, and just kind of cute. And when I said the word ghost, she started explaining something that she was experiencing, and I kind of helped to enlighten her with that. And she wants me to go to her house. because there's a spirit there, because we're all here, like, we're here to help the spirits move forward, to help the spirits heal, and some are harder to heal. Some are trying to find their way, and they're so lost that they don't it's like a person. We don't know what way's up or what way like, what way's which way. So we're confused, but that's what I'm here for. Hence my channel, Spirit to Spirit, because I communicate with spirits. I walk and I I, uh, I live both on the physical plane and the spiritual plane, and and it can be a roller coaster, and that's why sometimes I look like I'm a real basket case. It's not per se that it's me, it's because I'm experiencing what others are experiencing, whether it be a physical experience or a spirit experience. I know that I'm meant to be. I'm very empathetic. So, very empathetic. When you cry because you sprayed rain on a bunch of flies because you were infested with flies, you know, like it's like um I was in a car accident in 2006 and I started going unconscious. And when I go unconscious, like sometimes I go in like a freeze frame and if somebody touch me, it's like you gotta catch me because I can't hold it no more. But there would be times where I'd be in the standing and walking and what have you, and then all of a sudden, I'd try to let people know ahead of time because I feel and then all of a sudden it just dropped and my head would smash. And in 2019, 3 days before my birthday, I was in Costco and was standing there, and somebody had asked me if I wanted a a sample, and I was like, "No," and then I was like, "I'm go," and the person, when they heard me, like, kind of try to get out, they were disabled, and they grabbed my arm to try to catch me, and when they caught me, it was like this, and they couldn't so kind of sort of flung me, but they couldn't hold me no more, so they ended up dropping me, and when they dropped me, my oh, crap. Oh, shit. My body, I went down sideways, my hip hit, and then my arm hit, but when my arm hit, it folded me over. So my body folded over, and then my head come down, my head smacked, like my head flopped sideways, smashed into the floor, and then my face. I was down on the ground for about a half hour for like each time was kind of catatonic. I could hear people and I could feel people, but I couldn't respond. And this was what it would happen prior to that. And when they got me up, um, I couldn't hold my legs. A lot of the time, whenever I go unconscious, it was like a baby trying to learn to walk and talk all over again. And this time, I couldn't hold my head up. And I won't get into big details, but I couldn't hold my head up. And I wouldn't let them they call the ambulance, but I wouldn't go with the ambulance because I had been treated like crap a lot. I actually did videos on this. Um, so I was going after that happened. Oh, it was like I had a concussion and everything like that, and I was going to the hospital because I was having really sharp pains and I was having like it felt like air pocket bubbles coming up, and I was in the hot and they treat me like crap, oh nothing, and they put one of the heart monitors on me, and they had one and they tried 5 times and they couldn't get a reading, so it must be the machine. So they went and got another machine, and that machine wasn't getting a reading because what was happening is my body was squishing itself from the inside because my muscles had deteriorated, so I was suffocating. And I was trying to express in my it's like I was trying to catch myself because my everything was trying to leave me. I was dying slowly, very painfully. There were times where like I threw up and it was like I was trying to it was painful throwing up. It was like my whole insides were gonna come out. as I was doing it, like, I was blowing thick bubbles like that, and you could see it was crystalline, like a lot of crystals, a thick, clear liquid with crystals coming through it, like in it. I actually have, pictures on my Facebook, when I'm doing that, um, and then, my nephew was trying to get me to Alberta, and I was seeing, like, hallucinating and like, not hallucinating, but I started because I was dying, I was starting to see the different spiritual plane, like, the different planes of existence, the different realms. I was seeing myself in a hospital bed, my family around me, and this was I was seeing it through a wall, and, towards the end, it got really intense. I was laying in my bed one night, this was a night or a couple nights the day before, and I was laying in my bed, and it was like my mom. It's my mom at the foot of my bed, and there was this little girl, and then one of my sisters in spirit, and then there were people coming in my door, and somebody had taken the door off, and all of a sudden, like, my nephew was in the living room, and I hollered out, "Get the fuck out." Because I didn't want anybody around. So, "Get the fuck out." There was nobody there, it was a spirit, the spirit plane. My nephew, went out later and was like, "Who are you telling to get the fuck out to?" I explained, and then, the next day, I was laying on my couch, and I was trying to catch myself, which because I didn't wanna die. Knew I was dying, and then, I was laying on my couch, and I could no longer move, and it was like Spirit was like, "Tara, honey, Tara, you gotta let go. You gotta let go. It's time to let go." And I could feel myself going into shock, and it was fucking scary. I could hear as I was going into shock, I could hear my nephew and son coming in, and my nephew saying, "Oh, your mom's still sleeping." There is a light, and it's like it starts off small, and then it just duplicates and gets bigger, and then it's like you're going up to the sun, and when you gotta let go, it's like it's just a release. They wouldn't let me remember anything. I don't know how long I had been dead for, and then I come back, and that's when, it really got intense. It's very scary to die alone, especially when you know that you're dying and nobody's listening to you. So that's when I became very when I come back, I come back stronger, and I come back kind of seeing things for what it is, and knowing that, I'm here to show people how to love, what love is. Been a lot of spirits, a lot of resurrection. That's what it is. They're coming through people. They want to heal. It's like once upon a time. Like unfinished. We have our unfinished business, and some just, it's the untold stories. Some don't want their stories told, and some are trying to have their stories told, and they won't let them tell it. So that's why I tell people, get on here, tell your story because it's going to feel a lot better and it's going to release things and you're going to experience spirit. It's like, come on and to talk as if you're giving advice to somebody in your own situation, and then go back and watch it because you're actually giving that advice to yourself, but unless you actually see it or experience it, we don't take our own advice, but it's actually spirit doing it. Because all aspects of spirit is feeling it and bringing it forward, and a lot of people don't understand that, and they'll like, first thing they do, oh, give them a pill, give them a pill, give them a pill, they have this, slap a label on them, instead of, fucking opening your eyes and really understanding what the person's going through, because it's a spirit to spirit. Mental health is a lack of spiritual health, a lack of spiritual knowledge of the spirit realm. And that's what pisses me off, because I know that and everybody's on their journey. But it's like when you got somebody coming to you and explaining to you, but each to their own. And yes, I do get frustrated, but it's spirit getting frustrated. You're very welcome. And I encourage others to share their story and not worry about what other people are going to think or say about you. The only ones that are going to think badly or say anything about you are the ones that are hurting you. And it's making them look at themselves. So I read the Bible when I was 12 because I know that, like, I know how to live as a good person. I don't have to read a book to know how to live as a good person. We all make mistakes, and it's about learning from them. It's not about going and doing uh, whatever some people do, go into some kind of pew or something like that, and ask for forgiveness from God and what have you, so that they can make themselves feel better, and then go out the next day and do the exact same thing. Confession. I'm not throwing shade, but it's like, you're confessing, you're asking for forgiveness, going out and doing the same thing over again. The true forgiveness comes from within. It's like, that you have been forgiven when you forgive yourself. And there's parts right now that I still work on. It's parts of forgiving myself for things that I've done to other people, and that's why I'm going to be doing a video with regards to apologies, when apologies are meant, when it's meant to apologize for something. And I said, like, apologies with regards to walking in front. People will apologize for walking in front of somebody all the time. Oh, I'm sorry, but yet for big things that they should be apologizing for, they don't apologize. It's like, seriously. It's like we all, whether people realize it or not, we're all experiencing different forms of spirit. Like if you go in somewhere, okay, and you feel like, say it again, you feel like you don't like a person or they rub you the wrong way or something like that. Or when they're 1 minute one way and another minute another way. Well, you're experiencing spirit to spirit, different versions of spirit within you that have different experiences from different planes of existence, as you call it, different times and space, what have you, however people refer to it, realms, parallel universes, multiverse, what have you, because everybody refers to it different, and people think that this is the only time. No, past, it's never like we experience the past, but we're always in the now. And people will come in and, well, what's my future? What's my future? Well, what do you want your future to be? What are you going to make your future? Because by what you do in the present is what is going to create your future. Because every second later is your future, but you're the one creating it. So I may be able to say that, okay, well, this or that, but that could be something that I'm experiencing myself within the two spirits that I'm working. Like if I'm working with someone and they want to know the future, I'm not going to tell you your future, whether I see it or not, because it's not for me to see. It's for you to see. I have tarot cards, I have oracle cards, and spirit directs me when to use them if I'm working with somebody. It's kind of to try to help to enlighten, because I'm not here to tell you your future. I'm here to help you work towards making your future better for yourself by helping you see what it is that you're seeking answers to. I'm here to help you see that for yourself. So, sa ke totoo sa laya mo sila, isuko to. And I don't answer when I'm on. Like I'll call them back. It's like, yes, what I am. I'm feeling heart chakras right now. The reason why my voice is like this is not so much from hollering. It's more from my throat chakra is activating. It's like the Matrix, it's kind of trying to put a distraction. And I can feel that. I can feel that within my body. It's a spirit to spirit. Sulle che seria un cucù, mica un cucù essa, si che tutto, la che mo cacà, se che solo ei, su tutto che io che le me che tutto te sarà, tutta, che non mo crea no tutto e sarai, e sulle sale che ria sala che io to, gam che da le me che lui è, pigru tutto ria, tutto stara, e su che non mo to ria per ria sala che se lo creai, che tutto dai ta. Doing videos for yourself is actually very therapeutic. Like to go back and watch, to see and hear what you're experiencing, what you're going through, because spirit is constantly because you're channeling spirit yourself. And many don't understand that because they're not looking at things properly. They're only hearing what somebody is putting out there. So they're only living in a box. The limited beliefs. I'll say it again. They call us a sinner. They say we have sins. The real sins are the systems integrated into society. The stuff that keeps us starving, the stuff that keeps us fighting with one another, the stuff that keeps us sick. They try, and it's just more of it's like shadows because they're looking for, okay, how do I explain it? Let me see. Put it in the right form. Yeah. Read the question again. Okay. You find the negative spirits try to stay with you at times. It's finding love, having love for them. And I know that's hard. Sometimes it feels hard. It's because when you have the negative spirits, it's because they don't know it themselves. Some spirits don't even know that they've passed on. So they become angry, and it's like it's like they become negative spirits because they feel like you're intruding on their space. Have you ever watched the movie Sixth Sense? Okay, Bruce Willis, where Bruce Willis died, he was in spirit and the boy could see him, but he didn't know that that he had passed. I start shifting. I do this a lot because I can feel it coming a lot. I have my crystals around, incense. Some people use sage, but it's knowing what you're doing. But when you experience a negative, what seems to be a negative spirit, think of it this way: it's a part of you, and it's that part where it's you need to go in and find out why you're experiencing that, because it's parts of ourselves, confirmation train. Okay. It's like when something like flies across the room, it's it's different forms of your shadows, because this is what it's shifting. Everybody's like, the spirits are trying to find their way home, but there are ones that really struggle and they just keep chaos going. Okay. So it's finding that within you, because they're coming to you for a reason. It's finding out the reason. That's why this woman wants me to go to her place, because she has a shadow spirit there. And it's like, what's going on in your home? That's what you need to look at first. What are you experiencing in your home? Because what you're experiencing within your home can actually reflect it out in the physical world. What we feel inside is what we reflect in the physical world. With inside, without. So above, so below, as they say, right? Okay. So if you're experiencing this, then it's look within your own space. What's happening within your own space, within your own living structure, within your own mindset, within the mindset of others around you. What are you experiencing? Because this woman was experiencing a shadow spirit being where they were drinking. So I was asking the question, like, is there substance abuse within your home? Because if there's substance abuse or abuse or what have you within your home, this is why you're experiencing it, because spirit's saying, okay, we need you to look at this. It's like they say about trauma. Oh, you got trauma, you got trauma. No, you had a trauma and now you're experiencing a PTSD from it. And the PTSD is spirit's way of saying, okay, you need to look at this because you keep whatever caused this, it keeps repeating itself. They say history repeats itself until you find out what it is and why is it repeating itself. It's usually because we're not seeing something. So the PTSD is saying, I need you to look at it. I need you to feel it. I need you to allow yourself to experience the pain. It's okay to experience the pain. It's not about reflecting it on someone else, as it is allowing yourself to know that it's okay to be feeling the way that you're feeling. And a lot of the time, like when you get tossed a pill and say, here, take this, it just suppresses, it just pushes it back down, which that's not what you need to be doing. You need to be able to have somebody that you can talk to that can actually, do the hard stuff and not worry about whether they're going to hurt your feelings or not. It's about, I'm going to pull you up. But you know something? I'm going to piss you off because I'm going to go down there and I'm going to grab that seed and I'm going to help you move it up. And it's going to be painful because it's spirit saying you need to look at it. It's a version of yourself. And that's the part, like they say, you're the demons and what have you. That's your demons. What we feel inside, we put it in the physical world. That's why if you always think about things being negative, that's why negative things happen, because that's where your mindset is. But if you see what you want and you keep focusing on the things that you want, the way you want to change things for yourself. And it's not like people say, fake it till you make it. Like some people say, fake it till you make it. But some people just go through the motions of just faking it and they never make it because they never put in the work. They never put in the effort. They just pretend. It's not about make believe. That's why we're in this situation, because you're just going through the motions. You're not actually doing the work to see what it is that spirit's trying to show you. And we're seeing things to be like, the world exploding. I have a book that I have different books. This is the most recent one I got about the practice of chaos magic or what have you. But we're in chaos right now. And the chaos is from what we're experiencing within ourselves because spirit is pushing it out. Spirit's saying, okay, now it's time. It's time you look at the stuff that you don't want to look at. And once you start looking at it and seeing it for what it is and embracing yourself and realizing that, okay, I did this, yes. Now I have to heal from it. I have to let it go. And when you keep going back and forth, like people are on medication their whole friggin' life for depression or this or anxiety or that or what have you, it's because they're not getting to the seed of what created it originally. So, by doing that, by not getting to seed, it's actually profitable for, the big companies. But I'm here, and the many others that are here. Some are using crystals, some are using just talk, but it's about asking more questions, not the question of, well, how's that make you feel? It's like actually sitting down and listen to the people. I'm not one that when I get going on it, it's not about you can't give somebody an hour or a half hour and think that they're gonna be able to heal from anything. You need to let them, it needs to be one of those things where you need to allow them to keep keep talking and keep asking them those hard questions to pull it out, not cutting them off when they're just getting started. So it's not about setting a time limit. That's not what it's about. because then you just go back and it's like you keep talking about the same thing and you never get to the real the real seed, the original seed to your PTSD. Why do you the real thing of why you keep repeating the same thing over? Why you keep allowing people to treat you like a piece of shit? Why you keep allowing people to say that you are less than what you really are because you are greater. It's a system that wants to keep you less than what you are because the system is afraid of you. Based in many ways, yes, because it's their past lives and it's parts of them that they suppressed or they experienced. So it's the part of like realizing like when I first started going through this, okay, I was experiencing where it was like like a part of me, like a spirit or a demonic energy had a part of me, and it was parts of myself telling me that I was going and it was trying to rip me apart. But it's the dark parts of ourselves that don't want to be able to see our own ugliness. Read okay, so I'll read my description so that people understand my channel a little better. Like when I'm going live, like when I do short videos, um, when I'm doing short videos, it's more of like doing clearings or in engineers or what have you. But when I am live, I get deeper. Oh shit. Oh, there. Oh, home. Okay. Hi everyone, I am Tara, aka Spirit Mother, and I am here to wake people up to see how we've been treating each other and our earth. I am a unique type of spirit guide. I am a psychic, a medium, a channeler, a telepath, and an empath. I also speak and sign different languages, all of which can be very intense at times. On my channel, I talk about everyday life, the ignorance, greed, and hatred, etc. I do it to get people to wake up. Do it to get people to look within themselves and how we have been acting in life towards ourselves and others, including animals. Some people may not like what I have to say, whereas others may totally understand. Sometimes I may not come off a very spiritual person. However, I ask you to look within and see what spirituality really means. It is the enlightenment, waking up to the truth, the good, bad, and the ugly stuff that we don't like to see about ourselves, about the world, and others. And I know some people, like when they hear that, it's like, who the fuck do you think you are to come on here? It's because I've been there. And I know that I'm experiencing different lives because of the way that I see it. And I actually listen to people so that I know that I'm experiencing different parts of them because it's the part of I am you, you are me. We are experiencing each other. We are experiencing the different forms of spirit. So it is a lot of the parts within us that we don't remember because it's the parts that whether we want to like some people don't believe in reincarnation, some people believe in reincarnation, some people believe in life after death, some people don't. It's like the atheist or the believer or what have you. And it's like, we can't throw or knock shame on somebody because of that, because we don't know their experiences through life. But when we're hurting other people, that's where we can create our own demonic self. Because I realized that it's that part of not wanting to see your own truths. And, you know, I'll say it, people of religion, they'll say, oh, well, you're wrong. But no, there are darker, they call them darker energies, but it's all about consciousness. Yes, because it's the energy, and you can shift that, and you shift it by changing your mindset of like, don't think of a negative spirit as being, think of it as it's there to help you to see something. Because sometimes like we tear ourselves apart for something we did. It's like we're ripping ourselves apart for it, and we can't move forward. And we may not be consciously aware of it. Like we may not be totally aware of it, but the help is here. It's just allowing yourself to open up and see your own shadows, because that's what it is. It's shadows, dark nights of the soul, stories that we don't want told about ourselves. And we're tearing ourselves apart. And that's why we can't get ahead, or we feel stuck, or we feel worthless because we allow someone or something else. It's that part of an ego, different forms of our ego. You can have the ego where you're on top of the world. People call it manic depressive. You're on top of the world, but then you feel like you come crashing down. It's because you're trying to work through something, but you're not allowing yourself to do it because it becomes painful. So when it becomes painful, we start pushing it back down. But spirit is making us face it now. Some people don't want to wake up to it. They just want to keep blaming other people for what's happening to them. But it's the part of building yourself up and knowing your own worth. Because you're not like, it's like you're not here to be abused. You're here to experience something in a way that you are able to find your power within yourself, so that you can say, is it the Pink Floyd song or something like that? I forget what one is. It's we're not going to take it. No, we're not going to take it anymore. We're not going to be pushed around. We're not going to be treated like shit. We're not going to be told that we are less than what we are. We're not going to be told that we're sinners, when the true sins are the systems integrated into society, the systems that, tell us that we need them, when actually what you need is you need to find yourself. Because when you find yourself, that's when you find God. That's when you find spirit. It's not about, like, I mean, church is supposed to be about community. But I know a lot of, like, there's been a lot of church people that they treat people like shit. I'll repeat it. I went one day to look at a book thing that they had a stand thing up outside of the bank, and I went there and I was talking to him, and I started speaking in this language, and a man come, and I could feel his dark energy, man. He was really freaking dark. He had dark energy. He had a bad mojo. He had hate for the world or women. And he walked up and he's like, what language are you speaking? And I said, well, like the language of God. I know that like God speaks in numbers and what have you, but it's the language of spirit. And well, God don't speak that language anymore because God's got the Bible. It's like, okay, well, we'll agree to disagree. And he looked at me and he was like, well, what's God's name? And I said, God has many names. No, God has one name and it's such and such. I said, well, okay, we'll agree to disagree. It's this. It's like, we'll agree to disagree. He said, I have a name and it's Michael. I said, well, nice to meet you, Michael. I'm Tara. He kept asking me if I believe in Jesus and that. And yep, yep. But because I didn't believe in the name of God that they referred to, he looked at me and said, well, we don't want to talk to people who believe in this, who don't believe in so-and-so. Like, what? And these are the same people that because their children don't have the same fucking beliefs, they throw them out of the family. Or if their family members don't have the same beliefs, they throw them out of their family. Seriously, that's not of God. So don't you dare refer to God in that same sentence. Because that's the true blasphemy. God does not disown anybody because it doesn't believe the same. Because so many religions say, in the name of God, we're doing this. In the name of God, we're doing that. Spirits pissed off. And I can't blame the spirits. Because I'm pretty sure some of those spirits got disowned. Because I have a friend of mine, a guy I knew years back. His family disowned him because he didn't have the same belief system. Seriously, what the fuck is your malfunction? And I'm not throwing shade. Don't tell me you believe in God if you're disowning your own family for that reason. Or if you're disowning your family for any reason. Okay, just one sec. I don't believe in spirits being sent to harm other people. Nobody should be harming anybody or sending any spirits to harm someone because if they are, that's an aspect of themselves that actually wants to harm that person. Cast out the 3 demons into the pigs. They're actually spirits. It's like that part of you feel like you're going crazy. Think of Mary Magdalene. A lot of religions don't like to talk about Mary Magdalene. They'll even keep her out of the Bible. 7 stars, 7 demons, 7 chakras, 7 angels. Do you see what I could add? How many lifetimes? It's parts are and they won't believe that. And that's fine. Because everything is spirit. Because it's the energy. And when you say the Holy Ghost, okay? The Holy Ghost. Spirit. And I know I'm live. It's coming right now. I feel it. Tisikulepakatututayasaram. Vishulakesarokia Istukutupuriya. You know, they'll use other there's like I call them jumpers, different forms of their spirits will jump. And I know when it's happening. Right now, you know when it burned me? Tisikulepakatutayasara. Wouldn't be the first time. Vishulakesarokia. This is a spirit to spirit. And that spirit knows which one I'm talking. That spirit knows that I'm talking to it. Welcome. So it's that part of, see what the seed is. Look into your family history because you are your ancestors. I'll share something. My great Grammy, she burnt in a fire. She was lighting her stove, and from what I understand, she used the wrong accelerant. Wrong accelerant. Don't know the truth, like what have you, but she caught on fire. And here in 2001, I was laying in my rocker chair. I had my hair in a ponytail, and I had one of those tea candles lit, and my hair kind of caught with the liquid. The liquid went through it, and it ended up igniting my hair. And my ex-husband put me out. So it was like kind of experiencing it. Was there something to that? So that's the part of like where I say, like, how far back do things go? And that's the spirit to spirit. And I said, like these at least the two spirits, they have a lot of pain between them. Thank you. I can feel it, even like, trying to come at trying to come at me because it was too original. It was too okay, it's separated from itself. If you watch Once Upon a Time, okay, when the evil queen was called the evil queen, okay, there was these pair of scissors where they've cut from their destiny or cut from themselves or what have you. So she drank a potion to separate her evil self from her good self. And then she cut, but she had to deal with herself, her evil self later and share it. That's the part of sharing your spirit, sharing, like embracing masculine and feminine, both sides of yourself, your yin, your yang, your shadow, and your light. Oh, I know. We are all experiencing ancestral karma. So thank you. I've been on this journey and I've understood it for a very long time. That's why, like, when somebody wants to throw a psychic attack at me or throw something at me, it's like, here, you know, if that's what's getting you through your day and it makes you feel good, I'm not going to throw it back at you. But I'm going to say, I pray for healing and love for you. And it's up to you whether or not you want to accept it. Because you can't force healing. or love on somebody, because love comes from self first. Being able to love yourself. And a lot of people can't right now. A lot of people struggle with being able to love themselves. And a lot of people, we blame other people for why we keep doing the same thing over again. But it's because we keep holding on to it, and Spirit's telling us, there's something got to change here. We hold ourselves back. And I know, like I say, like, we can become addicted to trauma. And like, think of an addiction. When you detox from an addiction, what happens? Okay, it's the same as when you're detoxing from trauma. You're detoxing from those spirits, the demons of within you. You're detoxing from them. I went through an exorcism. And when your body is detoxing from the trauma, you start seeing it. That's the PTSD. And it's pretty fucking scary at times. The ancestral karma, that's our own in many ways, because it's how we've hurt people in the past, or how they've hurt us. And we keep, instead of sorting through the stuff and finding out why it's happening, it's why history repeats itself. We are all spirit, and we're in physical body. And I just felt that someone didn't like me saying that. You have your beliefs, and I don't just have limited beliefs. I'm open because I know. I'm not saying that the Bible is not true or anything like that. I'm saying that you're not getting the whole truth to it. You're getting pieces of it. And you are the piece to the puzzle. So I've been on for 2 hours and 32 minutes. So I'm going to leave it there. And for all those that came in and sat with me, oh, shoot. Thank you. Oh, crap. Very much. I appreciate it. And I hope that, oh, crap. I hope that, sorry. I hope that this was helpful. Because when you start changing the mindset of thinking that something is only one way and that it's all mental. It's mental because you're kept in a box. It's mental because you're told that you have to experience it in the brain. You have to keep remembering it opposed to allowing yourself to feel it. Experience it and release it. It's not about hurting somebody else. Because when you hurt somebody else, in the end, you're only hurting yourself and maybe what have you. I believe that, if somebody does something wrong, yes, they got to take responsibility for they got to be responsible for their actions. But are you going to learn from it? Because I know sometimes it doesn't take the first time. It's like, think of when we're kids, we keep doing the same thing over again. And then it's like, oh, okay. Like, there's a pattern here. I used to coast down hills, like ice hills. Because they told me they'd give me all the change that they had in their pockets, all the ones that were around. They were like almost like in their teens, So I wasn't stupid. I knew every one of them had friggin' a bunch of change in their pocket because, like, like whatever money they had in their pocket, they give it. So I took the dare. And I said, "Yep." I don't know how many times I friggin' split my head open. I actually, as a dare, I actually ate my mother's cigarette tobacco. I took a handful of cigarette tobacco and ate it. Welcome to Generation X. And, it didn't feel too good. It was actually pretty, like, but I was a very, took dares. You let people throw rocks at me and I dodged them. So it's like, but I put on here my own stuff. And it's a part of learning and catching ourselves so that we don't keep repeating the same thing. Sometimes I still start to repeat it and then I see the pattern. It's like, whoa, okay, step back a minute, have a better look. Okay. So with that being said, I'm going to leave it at that. Okay. So just remember that God was neither male nor female. God is both actually male and female because it's masculine, feminine. And, some of you may not believe that, but, well, wasn't it the mother that had the child? And didn't like that? Well, I send you like much. I send you healing and love and like I understand. I've been there. Instead of being centered on one thing and what somebody else preaches to you, how about you use your own experiences and go from there? In calm water, every ship has a good captain. And a true captain will get their people to safety. It's like Titanic. In the movie Titanic, I don't know how it went. There's been a lot of rumors, a lot of stuff going on with regards to it. And I don't know right now because I don't know what was there. But it showed that, the captain was making sure that the people got to safety. And then the captain went down with the ship. So with that being said, I'm sending you all much love, light, many blessings. Most importantly, very good health to anyone and everyone wanting, willing to receive and accept. I want you all to be big, bold, brave. Most importantly, and be authentic. Most importantly, be yourself. Be who you are, not who somebody says you are. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. Be true to yourself. Be true to others. And know that you are more powerful and you have more strength than what you can comprehend sometimes. Just know that things are a spirit to spirit. And when you see that for yourself, you will really begin to heal faster. And to anyone that sent likes or to start following or what have you, I appreciate it. I appreciate you. Send you all blessings. I see my finger. Oh, there it is.